Hey folks, how you doing? I got something that I'm going to play for you later. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, right here for the 7th of April, 2014. Yes, the feds are at it again. Hey, if you got cattle that is grazing on public land, look to get SWAT teamed, okay? Oh, but that's not the whole story, all right? It's a lot of things going on. So after my after the break at the 5 after, I'll come back and play you close to 5 minutes of a news report from George Knapp in southern Nevada in Clark County. Yeah, crap is going on, folks, and you either straighten up and get your happy little butts into, I'm so pissed off by this report that I saw earlier online that I can't, words cannot describe how pissed off I truly am. Okay? The issue the issue is not so much what this rancher is doing or not doing. The issue is they're not allowing him certain unalienable rights. Okay? And there's a whole backstory, I'm sure of it, but he'll explain it, and I'll play the audio of the news report. And what can I tell you, folks? I'm doing like 100 things here. I'm multitasking, so if the sound is a little off or tweaks out a little bit or whatever, then sorry. The feds are at it again. Okay? They're pains in the ass. They will not even, they don't care. I'm just going to tell you that. They don't care at all. Never have, never will. They won't even apologize to you when something happens. When they do something against you, you're not going to get an apology from them. Do you really think that they're going to apologize to you? The one thing that I understand, and the one thing that I've come to a conclusion about, is the fact that Washington, D.C., and the so-called leaders we have in Washington, D.C. are completely and utterly out of touch with the American people or the Constitution and are, as I will say today, the 7th of April, 2014, Washington, D.C. and all of the quote-unquote leaders are irrelevant and serve no purpose for the rest of the United States of America. Now, somebody can call me a rebel, somebody can call me a neocon, somebody can call me a liberal, somebody can call me a conservative, blah, 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 whatever. Shut your big damn pie hole until you actually realize what the hell's going on to your country and your rights. And if you can't handle that, you got major problems. I'll be back in a minute and a half. Want to know what's happening all around us? You do? Great! Come check out The Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. Have a nice trip. See you next fall. Attending their daughter's wedding in South Africa promised to be a vacation of a lifetime. But first, they had to face the treacherous gauntlet known as modern-day travel. Waiting for them on the other side of the world are an honest-to-goodness safari with amorous lions and elephants with anger issues, a life-affirming visit to a South African school, and an anxious bride and groom standing patiently at the airport with a sign that reads, "What took you so long?" The answers lie within the pages of Please Hold Thumbs, a not-so-round trip to South Africa, a true tale of turbulence and triumph from travel mug Scott Cherney, author of Red Asphalt. Available at Amazon.com in paperback and on the Kindle.
This is Michael Vera with Late Night in the Midlands, and you're listening to the Views Expressed live with your host, Reverend Wayne Pierce, on the Free America Radio Network.
No, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show, Michael. No, it's actually... The Views Expressed is on at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker, and also on freeamericaradio.us, and also wakingupthemasses.com. So go check it out. And, well, you know, give me another minute and I shall return, okay? What is reality? The foundation of reality is based on many concepts. Each person perceives reality differently. In the book, The Grid by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman, they explore the hidden infrastructure of reality. Get your copy today at Barnes & Noble and Hello.com. The Grid by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman. Hey folks, welcome back. Oops. Live. We are live. You know, it gets to the point where when you're multitasking, and this has happened to me before. Multitasking on a live show, and you press the wrong button, or you don't press the button that you should have pressed, and the other one doesn't, you know. It's a real pain in the butt. It's a major problem when you don't have somebody over on the other side of the room punching all the buttons and, you know, doing all this and making it all sound great. I'm a one-man operation here, folks. So, hey, how you doing? This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. For the 7th of April, 2014, I got to play you this. I literally have to play you this, okay? It's 4 minutes and 48 seconds. I'm playing the whole thing because there's some crucial things you need to listen to, okay? And,
is 8 News Now at 6.
Dozens of armed federal officers are preparing for a showdown with a Nevada cattle rancher regarded by some as an outlaw, a hero by others.
Rangers and agents from several federal agencies have surrounded a 600,000-acre section of public land and are preparing to move against rancher Cliven Bundy, whose cattle have been grazing illegally, they say, for the past 20 years. George Knapp of the I-Team visited the Bundy Ranch this week and has that story.
So this is the freedom that we have in America right here. We're going to have our freedom inside of that fence there.
Bunkerville rancher Cliven Bundy thinks the federal government has gone too far in preparing to round up his cattle. Example, this is one of 2 designated spots where the public will be allowed to protest the roundup. A sign inside the fence shows how some people feel about a First Amendment zone. And during our tour with Bundy, a passerby stopped to offer encouragement.
I'm one of your neighbors. I get to look at that every day in my life. Hang in there.
Okay, thank you.
Miles away, just off the interstate, another fenced area is where media are allowed. Armed agents in trucks form a wall to prevent anyone from approaching what resembles a military staging area, the heart of the Bundy Roundup operation. More rangers sit at every road leading into the 600,000-acre Gold Butte area to prevent the general public from coming in.
With all of these rangers and all this force that's out here, they're only after one man right now. Who do you think they're after? They're after Cliven Bundy. Whether they want to incarcerate me or whether they want me to shoot me in the back, they're after me. But that's not all that's at stake here. Your liberty and freedoms are at stake.
Bundy's had a long time to sharpen his message. The fight has been building since 1993, when BLM changed grazing rules for Gold Butte to protect the endangered desert tortoise. Bundy refused to go along and stopped paying his fees altogether. Since then, the BLM and federal courts have ordered him to stop letting his cattle roam through Gold Butte, and he's ignored the orders because he doesn't recognize federal authority over the land.
My forefathers have been up and down the Virgin Valley here ever since 1877. All these rights that I claim have been created through preemptive rights and beneficial use of the forage in the water. I have been here longer, and my rights are all older than BLM even existed.
The Bundy family was already ranching here long before the Department of Interior was born and long before tortoises were protected. But federal courts say he doesn't have a legal leg to stand on. BLM has long sidestepped the fight, in part because of concerns what might happen if it tried to round up his 500 or so cattle that even now are grazing on forbidden public lands. Bundy says he's always been willing to pay fees, but not if it helps to cut his own throat.
I don't have no problem with that. I've tried to pay it to Nevada State, Clark County, and they've got some of my money in their coffers right now from it. But I'm not going to pay my money to the wrong landlord, and I'm not going to pay my money to BLM to manage me out of business. The federal government has seized Nevada sovereignty, Nevada statehood. They've seized Nevada laws, and they've seized our public land. We have no access to our public land.
Critics say Bundy's being arrogant and that his cattle have caused irreparable harm to Gold Butte's fragile environment. Environmentalists forced BLM's hand by threatening to sue in federal court. The Bureau will pay nearly $1 million to a private contractor to round up Bundy's cows. But with dozens of government agents positioned all around the area for what might take weeks or months, the true cost could be much higher. Bundy's cow hands have time to kill these days because they're prohibited from heading out to work their cattle, and soon enough there could be no cattle left. The BLM plans to sell off Bundy's herd. Bundy stopped short of saying how far he's willing to take it.
Well, I've fought this thing legally, I've fought it politically, I've fought it through the media, and I will fight it on the ground if I have to.
George Knapp, 8 News Now.
The I-Team has been asking to speak with Cliven Bundy for more than 2 years. He told us that while he agreed to speak to other media, he intended to save us until the end, and that could come soon. The BLM won't say exactly when the roundup will begin, but could happen as soon as this weekend.
There you go, folks. The feds getting into the people's
News Now at 6.
Dozens.
And for some reason, the laptop doesn't want to work. There you go, folks. The feds are in your business. The feds want to take everything away from you. Look at this man. Look at this man. He has his family there. His family was there long before these government regulations. And if you think for one freaking minute that they're ever going to stop until they take everything away from you, you better wake your ass up now. I am sick and tired of this bull crap. Not only do people, oh yeah, I sound angry. Oh, he sounds unhinged. No, folks, I'm serious. Go talk to your grandfathers if they're still alive who were in World War II. Go talk to your uncles who were in Vietnam. Go talk to your relatives that were in the first Gulf War. Go talk to your relatives that were in Afghanistan or Iraq today. Let me tell you something. They are just as pissed as I am. Don't piss off Americans. Because I guarantee you, we will stand up for what we know is right, and we will take back this land by any means necessary. Now, I don't care who's going to criticize me for what I say, because if you ain't got the balls to stand up against a tyrannical government, you need to pack your crap and get the hell out of my country. Do you understand me? Now, I know for a fact, you can look this up yourself, I know for a fact that the Act of 1871 has turned this, what you would consider a free country, into a corporation. Go look it up. It's on the books. It's right there. You will find it. Okay? But I'm telling you now, if you ever think that your government would never do that to you, you have your head completely inserted into your rectal area. Now, I understand how really off the hook I sound. Really out there. Some people would say unhinged. Oh, some people would say that I need help, blah, 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 blah. I don't. I'm very passionate about the freedoms and liberties that I have enjoyed, or the semblance thereof, that I have enjoyed for as many years as I've been on this planet. And I guarantee you, I'm going to continue to enjoy all of them. Not what our government gives us, because our government doesn't give us crap. The Constitution of the United States of America and the Bill of Rights prior to 1871 guarantees that our God-given rights are protected. Protected. Oh, and by the way, there's another little thing that I put up, I believe, on Free America Radio on Facebook that shows that no attorneys, lawyers, whatever, are to be in our political system. Go look that up. So they are completely breaking the law. Now, I don't give a crap, and I'm gonna, as I said before, before the break. Any politician, any supposed leader, any square foot of Washington, D.C. is irrelevant to the rest of the United States of America. I do not have confidence in this government, and I refuse to even allow the unconstitutional implementations of the rules and regulations to be a part of my life. Am I a sovereign citizen? No. Are there certain local, statewide, citywide rules and laws and regulations that I need to follow? Yes. And I am more than happy to do that. I am more than happy to stand by the rules and laws and regulations in my state. Why? Because Washington, D.C., and every single unconstitutional law and regulation coming out of there is irrelevant to my particular situation in my state, period. That is my declaration. And if people want to correct me, and if people want to send me information and tell me how wrong I am, Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. You can't find it. You won't be able to find it. It's not there. I am not wrong. I'll be back. What's that moving in the shadows? Claranormal Talk Radio with your host, Steve Hembry, right here on RadioKahuna.com. Hey, I'm back, folks. How you doing? This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 7th of April, 2014. Yes, I'm a little pissed, aren't you? Did you not hear that report from George Knapp in Clark County for the I-Team News? Do you not understand what is happening? That's like the Ruby Ridge standoff, which was a complete and utter failure. And people have found out later on that Randy Weaver did nothing wrong. This is your government for you, coming in and taking everything from a man who's made his living on cattle ranching. And now the government's going to come along and steal all of his cattle and sell it off because he's not paying anything, because he doesn't feel it's right that his government does this to him or does what they've been doing to him for the last 20 years. I stand with Cliven Bundy. So should you. And if you can't, then you don't have the balls to be an American. Oh my God, you just called out a whole bunch of people. Good. I'm glad. I am so glad that people are finally standing up to this tyrannical government that I'm going to be standing right there with them saying, bring it on, mofos. You think you got the balls to stand up to the American people who are really, really, really pissed off at you? No, I don't think so. Oh, but folks, they know this. They know this. That is why for the last several months, several years, since Obama's been in office, that he's allowed the UN to bring in foreign troops onto U.S. soil and sending every single one of our troops overseas to fight somebody else's battles. See the problem? Yeah, I'm a little pissed off, folks, and so should you. You should be up in arms. You should be grabbing signs supporting Cliven Bundy. You should have signs on overpasses. Go to overpassesforamerica.org, o4a.org, o4a.org. You should have signs. Matter of fact, I challenge anybody in Clark County to go down and support Cliven Bundy. Oh, and by the way, you might want to bring your weapons. Because, as you heard in that news report from I-Team from George Knapp, looks like there's going to be some authorities out there with guns. Oh, we don't want that kind of stuff happening. I don't know why you're calling for armed revolt. I'm not calling for armed revolt. They are calling, or I should say, they have perpetrated an unconstitutional and illegal action against an American citizen. Does that not call for your, let's put it this way, you are obligated and have the duty to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against enemies foreign and domestic. And if your asses don't get out there and support him, then you're nothing but wimpy, whiny, pansy-ass libtards that don't really care about America. And guess where you need to be? Yeah, big giant country called Russia. Yeah, I'm angry. I'm angry at the federal government. I'm angry at people that cannot stand up for the American people who are against the tyranny in this country. Because you don't have the balls. You don't have the backbone. You don't have the gonads. Can I go on with some of those metaphors and some of those descriptions? I really didn't want to talk about that this morning, but when I saw that article and heard this video and saw this video actually, I couldn't handle it. I had to say something. I was going to record a podcast and put it up here and not have a live show, but this is too important. You people need to know this. Some people tune into my show and go, oh, he's just talking. Let's tune him out. Let's turn him off. I want to hear music. I want to hear sports. I want to hear this. I want to hear... You know what? If it wasn't for your father, your brother, your uncle, your grandfather fighting for the rights and the liberties of the United States of America, you wouldn't be sitting in your comfy chair listening to some stupid sports program. Yeah, I can go on and on and on. I've only got an hour, folks, and I've used up 26 minutes of it already. You understand how pissed I am? Anyway, how can anybody just sit by and let all this crap happen? How can somebody just sit by and just, this is it? How can they? It just... What do you do, folks? What do you do? Do you finally stand up and say, you know what, I'm done? Or do you sit there and go, hey, Department of Homeland Security Police, hey, NSA, hey, ATF, you want a beer? There you go. You know, welcome them into your home. I just saw a video, and I've seen videos before like this, but I didn't see it. I heard what Diana from Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show said about this video. A dog was just in the streets doing nothing, harmless, doing nothing. Neighbors were annoyed that a dog was out there, called the police, and the police tasered it. I'm done with you police that think that you're freaking gods. I'm calling you all out right now. You want to hurt my furry four-legged family member? You're going to have to go through me. You even touch my family in whatever regards, and I will make sure that you lose your house, your home, your job, and your freedoms, because you're going to be landing your ass in prison. A cop in Sacramento, California just got life in prison for raping a woman while he was on duty. You guys think you have the balls to match with me? You don't. I live in Nevada. Nevada is, let's say, getting the spillover from California. And if that includes the law enforcement folk, stay in California where your fascist governor wants you to be the police state that you are. Can you tell I'm pissed, folks? Can you even guess? Can you even imagine how pissed off I am? I didn't want to get on here and rant and get all pissed off and everything. I was going to go to break at the half hour, but I'll go to break at the 20 till mark. I'll at the 40 after mark. But let me calm down. You know what? I'm going to take this break because I got to calm down because I don't want to be yelling in your ear and getting all crazy and all this and all that. And no. Let me go calm down, get some water, and I'll be right back. America Matters. Enthusiastically entertaining, educating, enlightening everyone everywhere, while including a unique mix of all forms of media, including the internet, with continual live streaming available for all their shows. Their website is www.americamatters.us. Listen to America Matters on 101.3 Renegade Radio, krng.streamon.fm, or 99.1 FM Talk Radio, weekends at 99.1fmtalk.com, or 12:30 a.m. at 1230kjfk.com. If you're into liberty and libertarian values, tune in to The Angel Clark Show, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, at radiofreedom.us. The hottest new talk radio show is on Revolution Radio. The BK Factor talks about news, religion, politics, and more. BK adds his opinion to all of it. The BK Factor airs Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time, noon to 2 Eastern. If you miss a show, you miss out. There's only one man that has accomplished everything that he has set out to do. That man is Chris Top. The Chris Top Program on Spreaker.com. Hey folks, how you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 7th of April, 2014. Get some sounds adjusted here so I can at least hear what's going on. Hey, I'm back. I'm calmed down now. I am calm. I am calm and collected. Okay? And let me say this. I know there are fantastic constitutional police officers out there. I applaud you. But you need to step up to the plate and be responsible and do the right thing and turn these other asshats into the federal government, the ones that are committing these crimes, the rapes in Sacramento, the killing of family pets in other areas. You need to be responsible, and if you're not, you're just as bad as they are. Okay? Just wanted to put that out there. Go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. If you will, actually, no, scratch that. Correction. Go to the Free America Radio Facebook page. I'll give you a preview of what's coming up on the Views Express live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Right here on Spreaker.com, on WakingUpTheMasses.com, and also broadcasting in the Chickamauga, Georgia area on 1610 a.m. Go to theblaze.com. There's the first article right there. Annoy a cop in New York State? That could soon earn you 4 years in jail. Oh, let me read this to you. Here's the other sanity excuse me, let me rephrase that. Here's the other part of the insanity in America implemented by this criminal government. TheBlaze.com, this was last year, okay? Last year. This was posted last year. Just wanted to re-emphasize that on the 6th of June 2013. It should be a felony to quote-unquote annoy a cop in New York, the state Senate has voted. The New York State Senate passed a bill today, June 6, 2013, that, quote, creates the crime of aggravated harassment of a police or peace officer. The bill, S-2402, sponsored by Senator, Joe Griffo, Republican, or I should say RCI, Rome, New York. I don't know what RCI is. Republican, whatever, Constitute, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Somebody want to fill me in? freeamericaradio@usa.com. Would make it a felony to harass, annoy, or threaten a police officer while on duty. That's Bill S-2402. More from Griffo. Quote, police officers who risk their lives every day in our cities and on our highways deserve every possible protection, and those who threaten them with disrespect, harass them, or create situations that can lead to injuries deserve to pay a price for their actions, unquote. The bill establishes this crime as a Class E felony punishable by up to 4 years in prison. Quote, at the time when shocking incidences of disrespect and outright confrontation are at an all-time high, the men and women who patrol the streets of our cities deserve every possible protection we can offer them, unquote, Senator Griffo stated. Quote, my bill would make it a crime to take any type of physical action to try to intimidate a police officer. This is a necessary action because we can see from the rise of incidents that too many people in our society have lost the respect they need to have for a police officer. We need to make it very clear that when a police officer is performing his duty, every citizen needs to comply, and that refusal to comply carries a penalty, unquote. Okay? Now, this has been introduced June 6th, 2013. Okay? I don't know what your feelings are, but the Supreme Court has said that it is not against the law for you to film an officer doing his business. Okay? As of June 5th, 2013, the day before, it says here at the nysenate.gov, Senate passes bill creating crime of aggravated harassment of a police officer. Okay? Now, I don't know, and there it is at gpo.gov, S2402, gpo.gov. I'm putting this up on the Free America Radio website, or excuse me, on the Facebook page, in the comment section of that article. Okay? I do not know what police are thinking. I just know that their job is hard as hell to do. I just know that they need and deserve protection. But guess who that protection should come from, folks? You and I. If I film a cop doing something, I want to make sure that he understands that I'm on his side, that if there's any question at all as to what, number one, his job is, or number two, what the suspect or whoever he's talking to does, I have evidence in his favor or in the favor of the citizen that he seems to be talking to or has in cuffs or whatever. I'm unbiased. Now, the Supreme Court has said that it's okay for you to film a police officer. That's fine. That's within your constitutional rights to do so. Okay? Unless you talk to Justice Sotomayor, who thinks that all your rights are privileges, then don't talk to that person. Now, I just told you about the rancher in southern Nevada. And so you'll see those two articles. Feds start rounding up Bundy's cattle in northeastern Clark County. ReviewJournal.com is telling you more about that. And if you folks want to know what Agenda 21 is, there's a nice video there. And you guys need to really, really, really look at that one. I'm going to say this, that if somebody doesn't come forward to help Cliven Bundy like an attorney, pro bono, free of charge, then you people have no balls. If somebody doesn't come to his ranch and help him out and file lawsuits, multiple billion-dollar lawsuits against the federal government for what they're doing against Cliven Bundy, you people have no balls. Well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, he's got to pay, and he didn't pay, and he said he wasn't going to pay, and blah, blah, blah. He has the inalienable right to be a conscientious objector when it comes to funding an operation that violates his own protected rights. Period. End of sentence. And if I am wrong about that, email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. You skeptics and you people out there, you naysayers and you people that call me conspiracy theorist and all this, that, and the other thing and think I'm unhinged and all this, if you're not as pissed as I am, you got no heart for America and you need to pack your crap and go to China or Russia where you belong. I make no bones about it, and I make no apologies for what I say. I may get a little excited, and I may offend people because in the manner at which I say it, so I apologize for that. But I don't apologize for what I say. You people have allowed this criminal government to run roughshod over your lives to take away your rights, and guess what? You are going to see the results of that very soon. I'm not going to sit here and pull any punches. I said that last year during the show. 2014 was going to be a year that I'm not pulling any punches. You don't like my show? Unfollow me. You don't like my Facebook page and what I say? Unfriend me. I don't care. I'm talking to people who actually have balls enough to stand up to the tyranny in this country and take back the Constitution and the Bill of Rights prior to 1871 and to tell these damn corporations, get the hell out of the country now. And tell the elites, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Soroses, and all those groups that they're associated with and fund. You either pack your bags and get the hell out of the United States of America, or we will indict you for crimes against humanity and treason against the United States Constitution and Bill of Rights prior to 1871. You don't like it? Kiss my ass. That's the way it's going to be. I call them out. And you constitutional law enforcement officers, the ones that raised your hand and defend the Constitution? Why don't you get the balls to turn these buttheads in? I was going to say another word, but why don't you take your bad cops and arrest them and throw their asses in jail where they belong? I can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on, but I won't. I won't. Because you know what's necessary. You know what is necessary. You have the legal right to take care of yourselves. And you know how to protect yourselves by any means necessary. You have this knowledge. And all you got to do is apply it. All you got to do is put one foot in front of the other and go take care of business. Go take care of business. I myself personally think that any entrepreneur that wants to start a business in any town USA needs to be free of all regulations pertaining to that particular business. Unless you are opening a restaurant, then you have food service and policies and regulations governing food and distribution of food and all that. You need to follow that. I've spent many years in restaurants. I know, okay? But if you're going to start a bookstore, the only thing you need to do is fill out your little business application for the city, pay the little fee that they say that you got to pay, and then boom, your bookstore's open. You got fire regulations in your bookstore? You know common sense tells you where your exits are and where your fire extinguishers should be. You don't need, and you fire protective services out there that work for the city. Let me tell you something. Here in Reno, Nevada, this is what drives me crazy, folks. Right? This is what drives me nuts. Here in Reno, Nevada, if you go to a storefront and a fire protection service marshal or inspector comes in and says, well, hey, we have to inspect this, it's going to cost you. You know how much it costs? $8,000. And if you don't pass, you're out $8,000. There should be a policy in every single city USA that says if I want to open a business and you come in and inspect it and say, well, it's going to cost you $8,000 for us to inspect your place before you open a business, but if you don't pass, you got to pay us anyway. No, there should be no pass, no pay. I didn't pass, I don't have to pay. Now, I know. I've talked to people around here, and they said that the city gives you a certain amount of time to pay that off. You know, to pay the $8,000 over a period of so many months. Okay, that's not really helping me if my business isn't making the money just for me to pay you off. Or to pay that bill. What if? So, I mean, there's that to contend with. First of all, get rid, across the board in the United States of America, depending upon the business, you need to get rid of 75 to 85% of all regulations governing entrepreneurial businesses. Period. Get rid of all of them. If you're a restaurant, that's a different story. If you're a hospital, totally different story. If you're veterinarian, totally different story. Certain, or a mortuary. I used to work in the mortuary and funeral business for a while. If you are in those businesses, you have certain regulations that have to be followed. So anyway, can I get more upset about what's going on in our country? Can I? Because I'm sure you want to hear about it, right? No, you don't. And first of all, let me just say this. I'm going to go to break here in a couple of minutes, but let me say this. First of all, if I've upset you in any way, shape, or form by what I've said, in the manner by which I've said it, I apologize. Sincerely, genuinely, from my heart, apologize. I don't apologize for what I said. I apologize for how I said it. So if I started your day off or your evening off in such a really foul mood because of me being pissed off, I'm sorry. I apologize. You can email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. More than happy to hear what you got to say, even if you disagree with me. I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm fine with that, all right? I'm cool, all right? I'll be back right after this. Imagine a towering skyscraper with numerous floors, and each floor represents a different level of existence. Matter, spirits, angels, ghosts, extraterrestrials, quantum physics, biology, neuroscience, religion, metaphysics, even paranormal studies, all have their place in the grid. The Grid, Exploring the Hidden Infrastructure of Reality, by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman. Available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com.
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? And it was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost. Some believed that we lacked the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering. So the perfect world was a dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from, which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization.
Hey folks, welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show right here for the 7th of April 2014. How you doing? Hey. Again, my apologies go out to those folks that I've upset and caused their day to be just that much worse to deal with. So, my apologies to you. I don't apologize for what I say. I apologize for how I've said it. Okay? Now, go to freeamericaradio.us. Check out the views expressed today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, broadcasting live from there, and wakingupthemasses.com, and 1610 a.m. in the Chickamauga, Georgia area. Thank you, Bob Brutus. Also, check out Bob Brutus with Kicking the Capstone at wakingupthemasses.com. Anyway, go check out someone else, too, Nick Tucker. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. And distortedreality.podbean.com, or check this out. Go to freeamericaradio.us. Go to the top of the page. You'll see Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker and Kicking the Capstone with Bob Brutus. Click on there, and that's your portal to those shows. So thank you, Nick Tucker and Bob Brutus. So anyway, it's one of those days, folks. It's Monday. How else do you start out a Monday, right? Well, you could have coffee, and I had too much. You could get enraged about something so stupid that you just get really out of your comfort zone and out of your mind, and get really enraged over something. But that's stupid too. Or you could go take a walk. That's pretty easy to do. Or you could go sit on the beach by the water and just take it all in. And let the anxiety of your day pass by you like the breeze on the water. Or you could hop a plane and go to Hawaii Oh, wait, can't do that. There's radiation over there. I don't know. I mean, there's so many things that you could do, but you're sitting here listening to me. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. But how do we accomplish what we set out to do? How do we accomplish what we set out to do? We have a plan, we sit down. Sometimes we don't have a plan. We just go off the cuff and go do what we need to do. We have a plan. We go out there, we do what we need to do, and we get it accomplished, right? But we had to have a plan before doing that. You know, we work backwards most of the time. I want to do this. Well, how am I going to do that? Well, I got to do this first. Okay. So we reverse engineer our day, basically. And we set up a plan and we say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Do we get it all accomplished? Probably not. Do we attempt and do the best we can at completing those tasks that we've set ourselves out to do? Yes. Because that's all we can do is the best we can. And the Wayne S. Pierce Show and the Views Expressed Live and Kicking the Capstone and Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker and the BK Factor over on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. We just do the best we can. We show you exactly what's going on. Some of us just parrot the, state-run media. Go from there and give a few opinions. They don't dig. They don't go into a whole lot like I do or Nick Tucker does. We oftentimes overlook the most simplest thing, and we complicate the most simplest thing by overlooking it. Hello, makes sense to me, eh? So what do? We make a plan. A, we do this. B, we do this. C, we do this. D, we do that. And E, So we make this list and we check it twice and, we move forward into these things. We examine what's around us to find the most accurate way of moving forward. Okay? We find ways that will be advantageous to us to get from point A to point B. And we go. So here we are in America. Here we are in the United States of America with a tyrannical criminal government. And what are we doing? We're sitting around going, have you seen the game? Have you watched Dancing with the Stars? I don't get it. How can people sit back and allow a man like Cliven Bundy in Clark County in southern Nevada get ripped off by a tyrannical government? How can you sit by and thank goodness the result was the way it should have been? How can you stand by and let a police officer get away with raping people while on duty? He got life in prison, by the way. How can you sit back and allow a school to dumb down your children through Common Core curriculum, not understanding who's funding it? Bill Gates. Yes, that Bill Gates. Windows 8, that kind of thing, right? Microsoft. How can you sit there and allow your television programs to predictively program you, or should I say, program you in a way to where they're going to drive a wedge between you and what is right, what you know in your heart is right, cause you more anxiety than I do on this show? How can you allow all this to happen? You make a plan. You write it out. A, B, C, D, E. You write it out. You spend time looking into these things and then ask yourself this question. Am I able to accomplish everything on that list? And if you don't, if you put out 5 things and only accomplish 2, that's good. You can do the other 3 the next day with other things added to that. You just keep going down. Well, then nothing gets accomplished. Yeah, it will, because you spend time. Even if you don't write additional stuff, you can take those 3 from yesterday and accomplish those today, and then write a new list. It's just that way, folks. It's just that way. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go away now. I'm going to step away, calm down, and come back for the Views Expressed live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on freeamericaradio.us, wakingupthemasses.com, and broadcasting on 1610 a.m. in the Chickamauga, Georgia area. And, yeah, folks, email me if you have any questions, concerns, even if you disagree with me. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Check out the show, The Views Expressed live, today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right there on freeamericaradio.us.